I learned a very valuable lesson about life yesterday. And the valuable lesson I learned yesterday was a lesson that I learned while in the midst of teaching and or expressing. So I noticed that probably within the past previous year and a half, 2 years to three, I noticed that experiences play themselves out with people on a constant or on a continuum energetically, right? But at that time, I was so in the midst of figuring out how to survive through a reemergence of a significant maze that I felt I was in. Psychologically, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, perhaps all the same simultaneously. A maze. So I noticed that people brushed up against me um, a lot previously in my life, previously. People, um, certain people, individuals just either completely took a disliking to me this time, previously, or people simply felt the need to be belligerent or have facetious antics towards communication with me, particularly certain individuals. So yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my uncles, Sagittarius, quite like myself. But Uncle, I love Uncle. Uncle raised me, and Uncle is a prime example of what Godship is in um disembodiment or how do you say it? Inebriations. Godship, God form in inebriations or ailments or shortcomings. And so, but brilliant man, even in his experiences in life, brilliant guy, really. But I'm having a conversation with him, and I was painting, and his approach to me is, I'm the oldest niece, so I really gotta jab his seat and make sure you sharp, cause I really need you to be sharp, cause you the oldest. But my approach to it is not that of a pastoral figure or a ministerial figure. Mine is just uncle. Boom. So I tell him that my peace mainly comes from being in a silent environment. And he had asked me a question that was kind of non-congruent, and I spit out a fuss so quick that I think it upset the feelings of the individual, which I had to express that was not so. But I'm like, Uncle, really, you a sage like me. I'm not expecting you to be, but he will tell anybody mouth out about him. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to my perspective, I noticed that it was quite emotional. So I had to sit back and think about it. Why were people responding to me in a light where it had to be combative, so to speak? And the reason why I wanted to make this video, because the lesson that I learned within teaching lessons to people about their path and in life, you feel me, understanding certain things in life, looking at different perspectives and separate wisdoms and knowledges in life, is sometimes when people in situations aren't as we want them to be, for the next 30 days, my new perspective is going to be acting as though these people, places, things, and experiences are as though I'd like them to see, acting as if, acting as though they are already. So I noticed that I'm going to have to switch my style of communication up with people because I am a hermetist. You feel me? I am a extroverted, high-level introvert in ways of gathering information. You feel me? I rarely ever notice that I do speak to people as much because I'm always gathering perspective about something. But that's fine. That's cool. That's cool. But my next challenge is, even in difficult circumstances, people, places, and or things, I am going to have to act as though I'd like these communication styles to be, or these people or these circumstances to be, and walk as if they are to be. Now, how that is going to equate to everything that I would like to see, I would have to probably sit down and write that down first. I'm going to probably have to look at these birds. They love me. Everywhere I go, I see beautiful birds. One of them just ran into each other, but it's cool. They clumsy. But for real, I'm going to act as though. I told Uncle, I said, man, we are this of a people, and I was giving him knowledge about something specific I was sharing with him. And I was like, I chose to utilize that energy, but really, that's what's in you. And then I said, you would say, so you're probably a teacher, you probably a leader. He said, I know I am. He said, I'm past the potential boom. I said, I know you are, because you have the ability to speak to people. And I said, at some point, one day, you're going to speak to them without any ailments. He was like, man, I ain't got no ailments. I'm like, okay, Uncle, was shortcomings. Damn, you know what I'm saying? He really be kind of fussy and sensitive when it comes to my perspective, because he know that I already see him as God shit, brother. I'm just trying to let you know where it's going. I see that too, even if you don't. But I told him, I said, when you really take that responsibility as a mission in life, because he smoke, but he's the sharpest knife in the drawer, and he'll show it to you too. You know, but I tell him, when you and God really get serious about why you came here, your purpose in this life, because really he is a spitting image of Mr. Shakur himself. So I know whatever rich bloodline that is, it comes with critique, style, and class, and a specific elegance in manhood and wisdom and teachings of life and God too. I'm knowing. So he like, yeah, boom, but I said, you'll be able to speak from a space where you once had shortcomings for which now you have none, and they'll know what you're talking about was God for real. And he sat for a minute, and the nigga so real, he shook his head, And so I had to act as though I had always seen this thing, but I am going to have to act as though these things are already, so that I don't lose sight of what I'd like to see while being seemingly not disrespectful and not blatant per se, but meditative, extremely meditative. Oftentimes, when I'm trying to raise the frequency, I would have to lower it, so to speak, just to speak the same language, because my language, while learning self, man, stretches far and wide, far and wide, far and wide, because I'm learning how to communicate with other nationalities. I'm learning how to communicate and orchestrate from different mathematical perspectives and numerological standpoints as they may be. I'm learning how to calculate equations based upon what I see and what they are, and how to co-create with the nuance of riddles mathematically alike in my life. So it's harder for me to lower that frequency to communicate on a level where you asking me, why am I painting, or why, who is, so I would have, and that's cool. I'm learning, but every day is a journey for which I am learning. And I notice that the more I am learning, I get punched by elders for the things that I know not. And it's like, damn, did you wake up and know it one day? Or did you learn it? You feel me? Or did you learn it? But that's neither here nor there. I just needed to put that energy out forth. Act as though it as you'd like it to be. And so, that is my message.